Good afternoon from me, CJ. Good morning to you.
Yes, buenos dias from me. Um, how have you been, brother? Right, good?
Yeah, no, look, going a lot better now than I was, say, 2 weeks ago. So I'll
All right.
um, I'll take that, brother.
Yeah, fair
Now,
enough, mate. Yeah, one step
how's
at a
your
time.
journey? How's your journey's been, and how's MJ? More to the point.
Yeah. Journey's been all right. I think it's, sometimes there's a few hiccups along the way. We left, we got to Singapore, left Singapore a bit late, and so we missed our flight, connecting flight in Frankfurt. So we had to stay one night over in Frankfurt, and we got in on Monday afternoon. Monday lunchtime, around Monday lunchtime, which was okay because her surgery's on Tuesday. So he said we were hoping we would get there on Sunday, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah, of course,
and
yeah.
we got there Monday about lunchtime, and then started getting all ourselves sorted, finding our accommodation, and so we're here in this place for a couple of weeks, and then we'll take off up to Barcelona. But surgery in terms of MJ, she's going all right. She surprised me actually because straight after the surgery, of course, they're kind of a bit groggy and all that sort of stuff, and in a little bit of pain, in a lot of pain, I should say. I shouldn't say a little bit. Yeah, I was a bit reluctant to go leave her at the hospital and come back here, but I did. And when I turned up in the morning, she was up and in the chair having breakfast, and I'm thinking, "What the hell? What's going on?" And yeah, so and then we and then we got a visit from the surgeon, so gave us a bit of an idea what happened during the procedure, what's to happen, and what are the next steps, sort of stuff. So, and he also showed us those pics I put up on Facebook recently. It's
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say they looked
amazing.
amazing, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I can't believe they're the same leg. You know. Anyway, but yeah, she's okay with it. She's a little bit sore and sorry in the other room over there because I can't sleep in the same bed, mate. Any movement I make,
Yeah, yeah, of course.
as I
Yeah.
do, yeah. So it's kind of we always have a two bedroom apartment, I suppose, when we come here, and with the also with the lift, I'm going to go and have a look around tomorrow for a wheelchair for a few days so we can get her
Oh
around. She
yeah, okay, yeah.
wants to get out of the apartment, I suppose, go down and have a bit of walk around the street, have a coffee, which I haven't
Yeah.
had this morning, brother. I'm going to go in a minute after this, so
What was that?
I haven't had my coffee yet. I was about to go, and then I
Oh,
remembered.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course. Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Oh, shit. We don't want to hold you up, brother.
No, no, you're right. I'm good for the time being, so um, I'm better after a coffee, but yeah, I'm not too bad at the moment.
Aren't we all, mate? Aren't we all?
Aren't we all, but like I don't know whether I've said it on here, but it's not just the coffee, it's about going for the coffee. I like to walk and
I
take
think
in
you're
all
right.
taking all
I
the
think you're
sights
right.
and sounds, you know. Yeah,
I,
it's
I think you're spot on with that. I think that, um, you know, well, coffee's good. Don't get me wrong. But it is about the company. It is about the atmosphere. It's about,
yeah,
sitting down, having a yarn, if you like. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We've got a couple of people here from Mackay. She's one of the people that found Michelle online. So Michelle's been talking about lipedema online for a while, and so someone contacted this woman from Mackay and said, "Oh, Michelle Dry's got this, and she's getting treated, all that sort of stuff." So they both got in contact with each other, and yeah, she had her surgery the day before Michelle. She had it on Monday. Michelle had it on
oh
Tuesday.
yeah, oh that's
So
good, eh?
yeah, and staying two levels up, I suppose. We're on level one, so we've got a bit of company this time around.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah. So they know people in Mackay that we know, so it's kind of really interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously
wow.
because someone that was on Facebook, I think actually she was from out of Moranbah where we used to live, and mentioned to Nicole, who's from Mackay, who was over here, that Michelle was, getting treatment with her lipedema, and she had lipedema, and she was getting treatment in Spain. So one thing ended into another thing, and all of a sudden she's here, which is really good. At
Yeah,
least it's kind of her what she's doing is getting out there. Yeah.
yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, look,
Mm.
it's like fantastic that MJ's been able to get this done, and like
Mm.
it's exciting to see what the next chapter is going to be like. So,
Well, absolutely, yeah, yeah. She was interviewed yesterday. The surgeon that did the operation had some media people come along and interview her and all that sort of stuff. Get her thoughts on how when she found out she had it, and just their journey right up to this point, including the surgeries last year. So yeah, she's becoming a little bit of a spokesperson, I suppose, for
oh,
lipedema.
that's good. Yeah,
Mm.
bit of a celebrity, mate.
Yeah, yeah,
You,
it's like
you
anything,
better watch. You better watch out, mate. You'll be second string soon.
mate. I'm already carrying the bags.
No, it's good. It's
Yeah, I'm
good.
already carrying the
Now,
bags.
how was the flights over? I know you got stuck,
Yeah, got
uh,
stuck in Frankfurt in Germany.
Frankfurt. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
How was that?
Yeah, it was all right, mate. The flights were all right. I think we went with Singapore to Frankfurt, and then from Frankfurt we had Lufthansa, which is a German
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
carrier that took us from there to Madrid. So it was all right. It was like 60 hours plus 14 hours to Frankfurt, and then another 3 hours, I guess, or hour and a half, really, I think, to Madrid.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's all good. It was really, uh, yeah, it was uneventful. Really, it was quite a enjoyable flight. We got some really good seats from um, Singapore to Frankfurt. Yeah, they were pretty good. And then we jumped in the plane at Frankfurt, and there was a police. We got there a little bit early. We could see a couple of police cars and a couple of police people taking this young bloke up the stairs up the
Oh
uh,
really?
back row. Yeah, we were in the back row.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. Anyway, yeah, it was all interesting. It was pretty nice actually. But he was well, he wasn't actually. He must have been in incarceration, and he's got out, and so they've got him back to Madrid.
I
But
escaped it.
no, he must have been in trouble and you know got released. So they
Yeah.
actually got him to a plane, and he didn't have handcuffs on or anything like that. So
Oh,
and he got
okay.
off the plane. He got off the plane by himself, but he was he was greeted at the front door by some Spanish policeman, I suppose. So he had no handcuffs or nothing. So he was. They couldn't understand him because he didn't speak English. He didn't speak German. Didn't speak
Oh,
Spanish. He was a Frenchman. So
oh, yeah. Okay, okay.
yeah. So that was all good. I think it's yeah. No, it was pretty uneventful except for that little bit, but and also the layover and oh my god, we had this. Michelle's got obviously needed support because of her condition, I guess. So we had wheelchair support, and then onto a little buggy around around the Frankfurt airport, and she was going flat out. She nearly run over a few people, I reckon.
Oh, really?
She was like,
I, I have seen a few of those in Australia, mate, and they do go pretty quick, I reckon. So,
oh my god, yeah, because we were running late as well. Because we thought
oh
we
yeah,
might be able to touch it, but by the time we got to the gate, it was gone. So
yeah,
yeah. But that was all good, mate. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, hasn't it been an interesting year so far, mate? Yeah, in
yeah.
a
No, look, it really has, and it really, like wakes you up, I suppose, to like why we're here, what we're supposed to be doing, and like it puts you on the right path as well. I think so.
yeah, mate. Yeah, I was going to ask you how did well, can you go? You went out that way.
No, we haven't been there yet.
Okay.
They oh brother, they've had another death in community, so We were supposed to be there on the for the 8th and 9th of July, so NAIDOC week, and we've had to postpone it again because young fella took his own life, and I don't know, pretty sad, and yeah,
Mm,
we're just waiting. We're going to go back in August now, and stay for a week. And like as I said to you, we got philanthropic mob. They're going to come and do some work with the kids, around soccer and those sort of things.
mm.
So it's just a little bit sad, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
and
mate. My heart goes out to the Wilcannia community and Brendan in particular. Especially if they're young guys. I know he works with a lot of young fellas in the community. So I can't imagine how they're feeling and what's happening there at the moment. So, but yeah,
no,
mate,
yeah,
condolences.
it's
Yeah.
pretty tough stuff, eh? And
Mm.
like you see the likes, not just these two, but you see the likes of, like you mentioned, Brendan and Ike, who's his you know um partner in crime, not in crime, but you know what I mean. So it's
Against
probably not
crime,
the right thing to say,
partner against
brother.
crime.
Partner against crime, yeah, maybe.
Yes.
But like the way that they do their work, I mean, it's just
Oh,
amazing the way that they're
yeah.
looked at in community, and
Yeah.
you know,
In those
so
small towns, it's not just the immediate family that suffers, I guess, and struggles with, but it's the whole community, brother. And it's what it's like, mate. In small community, it's we're kind of all related somehow.
yeah,
And
definitely, definitely,
um,
definitely. I mean, the good news, like having a good yarn to BB yesterday, and he, like he's upbeat like he normally is. You can feel the sadness in his voice, but
mm,
as he said, he's got to be there for, like for everyone else. So, and that's what we sort of said to him. You got to take some time for yourself to be able to look after yourself, brother. And he was really excited. He's got his little daughter there now. I can't remember, probably nearly 3 months old now, and
mm,
like he's just over the moon. So it's just it was beautiful, beautiful to hear his voice, and when he spoke about um, his little girl. I mean, it was so beautiful, So
mm. Yeah, no, lovely, mate. Yeah, it's yeah, like I said, my heart and our hearts go out to the Wilcannia people, and yeah, hopefully, things will improve. And that only happens with time, I guess, but also support. So I'm glad you're going out there, JB.
yeah, look, we look, as I said, I mean, and like we often talk about this, like we love the community there. They're one of our favourites. They're such beautiful people, like, and just welcome you in, and make you part of their family. You know what I mean? So it's the
Mm,
same as I must say, it's the same as any mob, where we go, brother. But we have got a soft spot for Wilcannia. We've been working with them for a long time, so it is something that's close to our hearts. So every time
mm,
you hear of like another death in community, you you just think, it just makes you think. I mean, like, and I mean, I'm not sure about I'll got on a bag anyone or anything, but and this is not about Wilcannia. This is about the state of our health system. I mean,
mm.
um, I don't know. Is one hand talking to the other hand, brother, or I mean,
I
I
don't know,
don't know.
mate. Yeah, I think I don't know what it is, mate, but I it's a weird thing because the health system over here in Spain is not really good, compared to what's happening over there. You know, I think I think it's all about beds and I think about numbers. I think you know what I mean. Um, Getting numbers through, but sometimes you can't even get through because the numbers are too big.
The thing that I don't understand, CJ, I mean, as you know, like I had my procedure in Bali. It was absolutely amazing. Yes, it cost us because we didn't have our travel insurance, and so our credit card debt now is really high. But that's the way it goes, brother. But the
Yeah, that's
thing
right.
is, when we come back to Australia, we thought it would be quite easy, but no one wants to get involved, and especially if you've had the event overseas, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like the left hand's not talking to the right hand. I went back to the GP yesterday because um, I come off some more medication just because, mate, it was just doing my head in, both mentally and physically. Like I couldn't get off the couch. My heart rate, as you know, dropped to 39, and things like that. And then like there was a bit of confusion as well. Some people will probably say there's always confusion with you, JB, and they're probably right as well, brother. But there was probably a little bit more confusion and things like that. And um, so I've come off another couple, and the GP and the cardiologist, there was no sort of communication. Like he sent a letter back to them, but um, in the letter, because we looked at the letter and we go, this is not what happened at all. So
Mm,
it was pretty frustrating, and that's what I said to the doctor. Like she was a lady from Nigeria, so it was like really nice lady, and I said to her, look, I'm not, I'm frustrated with the system, not you guys, but it makes it hard, that you're trying to do your best to be able to, um,
mm,
you know, get back to full health, and like she even at one stage, said to me that it was my fault that I had a heart attack, so.
mm,
Um, so I mean, and that's fine. I mean, you can say whatever you want,
mm,
and I said to her, but what could I have done differently? And she
mm,
goes, like your regular checkups, and I said, well, I do, but because we've moved to house again, I haven't got a doctor here. So, and I said, if can you tell me what they would have done if you're talking about regular checkups when I didn't have any signs and symptoms? For that
mm,
event that I had. So, what would they have done differently?
mm. Yeah, no, that's right. Good question. And yeah, I don't know, mate. It's like you say. It's. I don't know what it is. The system is not working. I guess we know that, and it's actually affecting a lot of Australians, a lot of Aussies, and including our mob, which is always um, if you had to go to a hospital or a clinic, mate, a private practice or whatever, you'd have a hard time, you know, getting what you needed done, really, because it's still a bit of a situation in terms of the discrimination, I guess, and racist attitudes that people have. But
Oh, definitely, definitely.
I think that's always going to happen. I can't see it changing in the near future or in my lifetime, brother. It's it's
Yeah,
pretty sad, really, and
I suppose you just sort of wonder, brother. Like why, you know, why these things are brought to your attention. Because we're trying to think, what is it that we're supposed to know here? Because I didn't realise that our health system was so broken.
mm, yeah, mate,
It,
yeah, it is.
and it
Yeah,
really is. I mean,
well, it is. I really think the way the place is governed is broken too. The actual
look,
governing process.
you're probably spot on, brother. I mean,
Mm,
I don't, as you know, I'm not a big politics person or anything like that, but I mean, you see and you wonder about some of the people that are in charge of the country and those sort of things. But like, yeah, I don't understand how they say, like you say, can I get in to see a GP? No, if you're worried, because there's look at one stage there was a month wait to get in to see a GP. Okay,
Mm.
so they said if you're worried, go to the emergency. Go to emergency. Now,
Yeah.
it wasn't an emergency, but it was something that you wanted to see about and get it right. So they're clogging up our emergency rooms with
Yep.
people that are being turned away from the GP. So I mean, it just amazes me, brother. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know what it is, mate. Yeah, it's certainly different. I think. Yeah, I know that here. I mean, we had our surgeon come to us yesterday, and the operation that he does in Australia, if they did it, they would only they're limited to how much of the lipedema or the fluid they can take out. They don't completely knock you out. They give you this thing that
yeah, okay,
you're going to come through at any minute. That's in Australia, but here they don't want to rush things. They said we want to make sure that you're getting the best surgery that you can get. You know what I mean?
that's
So
fantastic.
we don't want to be guided by a time frame. So it's not about patients in operations and in and out and in and out and in and out. It's actually about let's look after this person and make sure that they're okay. Before we release them, discharge and all that kind of stuff. So quite an interesting, different approach, I suppose. It's not that time and motion stuff where they have to get quicker and better at what they do. Uh,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
they take their time to make sure that they do a good job. They
And I guess I seen that in Bali too, brother. Like when I
Mm,
was having my procedure, because there was no hurry, and it was a really chilled environment, if you like, not the rushing
mm,
around and like everyone's moving really quickly, and it's almost a run. But in Bali, it was really laid back, and
yeah,
it was
yeah,
such a good environment to be in. So
yeah. The doctor's not sitting there on a computer tapping away, tapping away, tapping away before they even put the bloody blood pressure thing on your
yeah,
arm.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So it's kind of. I know they got to do the triage and find out a little bit about you and all that sort of stuff, but a conversation would be better. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And honestly, a genuine, caring conversation. You know what I mean? It's not, tick
not a
that box,
bullshit
tick that
one.
box,
Yeah,
tick
yeah,
that box. That type of stuff. Yeah, they really want to make that connection with you. As a human. You know what I mean? And
yeah, yeah.
get a better understanding of who you are and why you might have had, why you might have come into the surgery today to see her or him, sort of thing. So yeah, it's kind of different. It's really, yeah, I think they've lost the human touch, you
Well,
know.
I think it's really disappointing, brother. To be honest, it does make you wonder.
Mm.
Look, halfway during the doctor's appointment, yes, I felt like walking out. So, but I sort of composed myself and like listen to like if you like her side of the story and um, you know it just amazes me that the left hand isn't talking to the right hand, and
No,
you know,
that's right.
even, like in my case, even there was a letter sent back from the cardiologist, but there wasn't everything in that letter. He forgot to tell the GPs that he'd taken me off a couple of medications. There was no follow up for the cardiac rehab
Mm.
program, which it's been 6 weeks now, so
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
there's no point in that now. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
and she, so the doctor yesterday wrote another referral letter to the cardiac rehab program, and she said they'll be in contact today. That was yesterday. They still haven't been in contact.
Yeah.
So
Times at there, 5:15, nearly 6 o'clock, I suppose. So, and they haven't got back to you. Yeah. What was really good, I thought, when I got to give them, got to say some good things about the system over there is that because we'd lived in Clifton and we had our private, practice that we would always go to the local guys. They kept a lot of stuff on file, but they of course they have to. So when I was told in Brisbane that I'm pre-diabetic and I have my liver's not functioning as well, I got back to Cairns and up to Cairns, and up to Clifton Beach, and went to the doctor there. And I said, look, I wanted to go and sand because I'm, as you know, I'm going to walk the Carino. And I said, I don't really want to have to.
Yeah, yeah,
After
definitely.
your episode, I'm thinking, oh God, what happens if that happens. So
Yeah,
I just wanted him to check me out. I gave him the results of my blood test down at Brizzy, and he had a look at them, and he said, oh yeah, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to the Camino. I said, oh, you could probably go and get a scan of your heart, but seeing that you're only leaving in a few days, I don't think you'll be able to do that. But do it when you get back. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I probably want to do it beforehand. And he said to me, mate, look, I'm looking through your records, your history, and you're still at the same levels you were 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Pre-diabetic.
But, but that's what I was saying to you though. Like, but you thought you'd actually got worse because
I
of
thought it got
what
worse.
someone else told you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
I thought, hold on a minute, what's going on? What do you mean? He said, well, your sugars are, is at this level, and yeah, you are pre-diabetic, but you're pre-diabetic for the last 3 years. I said, oh
and,
shit, well,
and with all that walking and that you were doing, that'd
yeah.
be helping that as well. So
Oh, absolutely, mate. Yeah, yeah. So I'm really the doctor down in Brisbane said, the best thing for you to do is to reduce the glucose and carbs and all that sort of stuff, and lose 10 kilos. And I thought, well, what I'm going to be doing over the next month or so, I'm going to definitely lose my 10 kilos.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'll probably do a little bit more than I'm supposed to, but I won't push myself. You know what I mean? It's all the walking will be just walking. It won't be
yeah.
speed walking or whatever. And so I'll be able to do a cut down a bit on some of the food I'll be eating, I guess. So, but also doing a little bit of exercise, at each destination, at each break. So that's me. I thought, well, now this has taken on a whole new spin for me, walking the Camino. I've got a little bit of why, I suppose, a purpose for doing it. But I'm sure there's going to be others that'll pop up, in terms of not just the physical side of things, but the mental, social well-being sort of side of things.
But that's exciting though, brother. Like
Well, it is,
uh,
mate. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, like it gives you something to look forward for. It gives you something to push for. Like as you
yeah.
said, even though you're not gonna be speed walking or anything like that, but
No,
as old Paul Clark used to say, you got to keep moving, brother. You got
keep
to keep
moving,
moving.
keep moving,
So
mate. So I'm really, keen. I got me, I got most of the stuff here now in this room now, getting ready to go. But that won't happen until we head up to Barcelona on the 4th, probably around the week after the 4th, which will be the 11th or the 12th. I'll take off and leave Michelle there because she should be in good hands by then. And I'll take off, and that means I'll finish mid August, which is
yeah,
good.
wow,
Good
yeah,
timing.
that's
Yeah, so
fantastic.
that'll be a month. So um, yeah, no, that's so here I was thinking, oh,
So,
I'm going to do the Camino, and I don't know why I'm going to do the Camino just yet, but I'm sure I'll find out on the walk, on the journey. But now I've also got this other why, and I've got it, something that I should probably deal with immediately, and that's to lose that 10 kilos and have a think about my health, I guess, and all that sort of stuff. So no, I'm pretty excited about it anyway. Yeah, pretty excited about it. So it's
oh,
good.
definitely, definitely, and the way that you will lose that 10 kilos is the healthy way of doing it. So
Yeah,
that's going
yeah.
to be the best thing for you. So,
Well,
uh,
that's true. Yeah,
it,
I've
and the
got me
other thing, I have got a couple of
my
questions
Reno
for you.
shirt here ready to go.
Hey, look out, look out.
Nice and light, nice and light.
Well,
Can
we'll
wash it
have to.
real quick, dry squick
We
real quick.
we're just looking at getting some more made up, so we'll have to send you one over. So,
Yeah, no worries, mate. I'll do some socials and things like that.
uh,
Promoting your organisation and all that kind of stuff, and
now,
why I do what I do.
I was
So,
going to ask you. So, tell because you've got me excited about this walk, brother. Because now
yeah,
I want to do it as well. So, and I know LB's keen on it as well. So, um, I know you've told me a little bit about it, and other people have told me about it as well. But
mm,
it's like like 40 to 60K walk a day or something like that.
yeah, something like that. Around about 30 is probably where the tops, I suppose.
30. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
30 a day. I think you do it in about a month. So At
So
between 25 and 30 k's a day, you'll do that in a month. It's
so you
seven.
do it in a group?
Yeah, you can do it in a group, or I would prefer myself to just do it myself and
Yeah,
just
me
be
too.
for a bit. Yeah, that type of thing. But there are groups that go. There are couples that do it, husband and wife type stuff, like you and LB. Um, but yeah, so it's about 780 k, so it's nearly 800 k's from start to finish.
Well,
Although there are shorter walks, there's they break it up into sections. You go to the local church, I think, and you'll get a stamp to say that you've travelled this far, and that
oh yeah, wow,
that's all your
wow.
evidence there. So you go into the local church, they'll stamp it for you, and then you're on your way again, and you keep going. But sometimes you can just do that bit, get the stamp, and
Yeah,
then
okay.
go back
Yeah.
to your holiday or whatever you're doing, and come back again and do the next bit. You know what I mean?
So
Yes.
so tell me about like where you sleep at night and things like that.
Okay, so they have these. They have this sort of accommodation. It's a bit like dormitory type style stuff, or you can get a
Yeah,
single room. You know what I mean? Along the way, and so you have to be there early enough to get a place, or you need to book ahead. Yeah, just to make sure you got a bed. Yeah,
yeah,
so it's pretty easy. I think that once I get to the first place, I'll find out where the next place would be, and it really depends on how fast you walk and where you end up that afternoon. Because I reckon I could do a morning session. I could probably do 10 to 15 k's in the morning,
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
and then have a bit of a break during the middle of the day, hour and a half, 2 hours all, and get back on the track again and do another 10 or 15 k's. But I need to work out the timing of that, how fast I'm walking, how
Yeah,
long
yeah,
it's to that next. If I can make it to this place, that'd be great. I'll be able to stay there that night. Um, so yeah, it's all that kind of stuff. Pretty exciting.
yeah,
Friends of mine went to it. Went through it. I didn't know they did it, but they said, yeah, we just did it. We didn't even ask any questions. We just got our backpacks and started walking, and we learnt along the way.
yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
turned up places where they were full, so we had to keep going for a little bit and get to another place where we could stay. So, and it's that's experience. That's all that kind of anxiety and stress that you get when you can't get into a place. Oh shit! Now we've got to go a bit further. Well, how do you manage that? How do you control that? Without it controlling you, and you become
Yeah,
stressed out.
definitely,
Yeah, you know what I mean.
definitely,
So, and
definitely.
it's exciting when you get to a place, I reckon. So, where there are other travellers there as well, and there's obviously a nice place to sleep and rest up, I suppose. And I'm not taking too much gear because it's bloody near 40 degrees here. It's hot,
Oh wow, wow.
hot this time of the year. My God, yeah. There's a heat wave up, and they've declared a heat wave in Paris, and that's north of here, so that's further north, which is not going back into the cool area. So
Yeah, okay.
it's that heat where you can feel the heat around, just like sitting in an oven, and the sun makes it worse.
But
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, brother. I'd rather be there than we were in Toowoomba earlier in the week, and it was friggin' freezing, mate. So
yeah, yeah, mate. I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I could probably do it in winter, but I'd probably do the Portugal one. You walk from Portugal up to Spain, because it'll be warmer down towards the equator, I guess. So, but it still be cool and comfortable to walk in. So I've got garments like your Mineral one, that obviously a bit airy as well, and you can clean, you can wash them overnight and then wear them again, and
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
dry.
yeah.
And so I've got some really good boots that Michelle organised on Amazon that were delivered up in Cairns when we got there, and I said I hope these
Well,
boots, and they fit me like a glove, mate. Absolutely great.
yeah. I was
Yeah,
gonna say to you, we're gonna need good shoes, brother. So
good shoes. Yeah, I've got good shoes there. I don't think these things are sold in Australia. I think they're sold mostly over. They just got them from the States. So yeah, it was like they
it's
measured me
exciting.
up. Exciting, yeah.
I feel excited for you. So I think
Yeah,
it's
mate.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll no doubt I'll jump on when I can.
Yeah, yeah,
For catch ups, because it's once a week we'll catch up. So like I said, it'll probably take me a month. That'll be 3.5, 4 weeks, I suppose. So it's 3 or 4 times.
yeah,
At this, around this time of the in the morning before I get going, or
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I think I'll get going pretty early, 5 o'clock, but I'll make
that's
sure I'm somewhere where I can have a coffee around about 9:30, I guess it is, and have a chat, catch up, show you around. Yeah,
it's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no, mate.
No,
Yeah, it's
that's
good.
exciting because that's what I want to do now too. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, mate. I think that's yeah, it's on. It's been on my bucket list for years. When I first heard about it, you know what I mean, and yeah, and I really didn't understand what it was all about, but I knew about it, and it's a pilgrimage, so it's really a spiritual kind of awakening type walk. And there's a lot of old blokes on the walk, so you don't have to be super fit. You have to have some level of fitness, but to be able to walk. But yeah, I think it's going to be really, one of those things. It's one of those things where we say, self care. So when I go for a walk, that's my self care. So I'm doing it 24 hours. Well, not 24 hours. I'm doing it every day.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
about walking
Well,
30 k's. Yeah.
yeah, no, look, and you're spot on. I mean, it's not a walk in the park ever. You're talking about 780 k's over 30
Mm.
days, brother. So
Yeah.
it's a fantastic effort. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like
And the country here is like ours, it's some beautiful, beautiful places. You'll come across some amazing things, you know what I mean? And so it's going to be pretty exciting, I think. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. But my main priority at the moment is making sure Michelle's okay.
yeah, definitely, definitely,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah, brother.
definitely.
So yeah, well, put that on your bucket list, you and LB. And I know that there's a few people that watched the when I first started talking about it, saying, "Yeah, I want to do that." Now that I've put a little bit of a post up, there's a lot of people that do want to do it, and you feel how kind of fortunate you are to be able to go and do this. Because some people just can't do it. They wanted to do it when they were younger.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
they're a bit older, and having some difficulties with their physical health. They need to be need to be somewhere where they can access that support really quickly. But yeah, but it's but I think I said to him, you'll be doing it with me, mate. I will be, carrying
yeah,
my
definitely.
people with me, So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely, definitely. Yeah,
yeah.
no, no, for sure. I'm looking forward to that journey for you, and I feel excited for you. So,
No worries.
yeah,
Yeah,
I want to do it as well. I mean, the next one we haven't quite planned it, but we are going to go to Vietnam, I think, and we're going to do the. I don't know if you've seen it, the bike tour.
yeah,
So
mate.
we're
I
gonna,
do it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So we're
yeah.
gonna
Hey, when's
jump.
that, Jamie? You got a date?
Nah, not yet, because I know
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going there as well, aren't you?
I think we're going to be there in November
Okay,
for a month. I think.
I'll see what I can do, brother.
Yeah, I think we're going to be in Bali for a month after Cyprus. So we go to Cyprus in September. At the end of September, we leave there to go back to Bali for a month, and then we get out of Bali mainly because of wet season, I think. And in October, we'll go over to Vietnam for a bit of an adventure. I guess we haven't been there yet, so it's been really nice to go and have a look. Yeah, and then after that, I think we might come home for a bit because it's going to be wet everywhere, really. But might
Yeah,
just come back to Brizzy for maybe Christmas, New Year, and head then make our way back to Bali for probably for the rest of the year. I reckon.
yeah,
So that'll
yeah,
be it.
yeah. Oh, that'd
Mm.
be beautiful. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Good on you, brother.
good. I
Hey,
will.
listen, the Blues won again.
5 in a row, mate.
GWS, my God. It was a low scoring game too, wasn't it?
Oh, I wasn't too bad. It was
Oh,
80 something, 60,
yeah,
86, 5 or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. 5 in a row, eh?
I mean,
Jesus.
if we had a kick straight, I mean, we would have smashed them in the first quarter, mate.
I know. Isn't that unreal? I mean, there was I watched a game the other day, and that was Adelaide, I think. No, was it Adelaide or they were playing? They were playing Geelong because what's his name?
Chrissy
Who's it?
Scott.
Chrissy Scott was in the
Yeah,
box, and
yeah,
I
he
think it
would have
was
been winning.
yeah, South. It was it Adelaide? Not
Adelaide.
Adelaide. That was
Yeah.
Freo, wasn't it? Or,
Freo last week, Adelaide the week before. I think they played Geelong. So
yeah. Well, they had like they kicked so many behinds, mate, so many
Yeah.
behinds, and then they started to kick straight, and so that's how they
It,
won it.
and it's amazing, isn't it? Like you
Yeah,
seriously go, some of the shots that they miss, and it really is like 80% of the game is played above the shoulders, So
yeah, mate. Imagine if they would have all those. There must have been 9 or 10 behinds. Imagine if they kicked them all. What did that add up to? What times six is, you know, almost 60
yeah.
points. Yeah,
Uh,
really.
I mean, I always look at like the total shots for each side and think, like sometimes there's 15, 16, 17, 20 shots different, and it's a really close game. And
Yeah,
if I don't know, I don't think it's that hard, brother. So.
yeah. But the team that's ahead is always the team that kicks straight. And they kick less goal. They kick less times at goal. You know what I
Well,
mean?
they say bad kicking is bad football, mate. So
Yeah. Anyway, mate. Yeah, and so them Blues won, and the other Blues lost, unfortunately, in the
yes,
NRL.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they come up against a pretty good team, I guess, this time around, and they did play the full 80, the 13 of them, and the tables were switched with one of their guys still for 10. So
yeah.
yeah, so it's going to be really good in Brizzy. I think it's going to be
Oh,
interesting.
it'll be fantastic, won't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine the little dust ups there in the in the ground.
In the ground. Caxton Street will be buzzing. Um,
Oh,
there'll be people everywhere around in clubs, pubs, hotels, all that sort of stuff. They'll be everywhere. I think it'll be. They said that the one in Melbourne was the most watched. Wait till it gets to
yeah,
Brisbane.
that's amazing, eh?
Oh, they're good down in Melbourne, mate. They, in Victoria, they sort of love their sport. It doesn't matter. I think they know they love their AFL, but
Oh, I must admit, any sport, brother, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
all you have to do is look at the Boxing Day test. You get 100,000 there. So
Oh, 100,000, mate. Yeah, they turn up for a gridiron game that comes over from the states.
yeah.
Yeah, they all
Well,
turn
they
up.
reckon, like if two flies are racing up the wall, mate, you get a crowd of 50,000. So
There'll be a few people milling around, just checking it out, what's going on, having a bet.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Oh well,
Well, they do say there's nothing better going on down there. So you got to watch sport.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. Well, true, mate. Yeah, true. And
and
you
I can
know,
say that, CJ, because I'm originally from Melbourne. So
Victorian, that's right. Yeah, but uh, they all get out, I reckon, and I reckon they all get out because they're anticipating another COVID, so they're going to make the most of it. I'm going to it
yeah,
anyway.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm out of
be,
there. Yeah,
be
yeah.
amongst a lot of people because I remember, this happened in my lifetime that we wouldn't be able to see anyone for, for years.
Oh,
For a
yeah.
year.
Well, see, CJ, if we just remember back to when we first started this check-in,
Yeah.
and how many people were down and out in Melbourne. I
Oh
mean,
mate,
we
sad
we
as
were seriously worried about a lot of people,
oh
down
yeah.
there, friends, family, and those sort of that, and like people in community because it was so bad. The most
Well,
lockdown city in the world.
we tend to forget that as Aussies. We thought we had it hard up in Queensland, but and other places, but I don't think we wouldn't have swapped it for Victoria. No way. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no way, mate. No way.
No. Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah, we
anyway,
weren't volunteering to do that, were we?
no, mate. Unless you were an AFL player that you then fly out of there and have a game up in Gold Coast or somewhere, and yeah. So, but yeah, that So I understand, and I know that I've known before that, before COVID, that people in Melbourne they get out and about. They go out for tea, they go out for breakfast, they go out for lunch. Um, yeah, so it's really that type of community, I guess that type of
Yeah, definitely.
community, I suppose. Yeah, so when we used to travel down there just for a holiday, there'd be people out all over the place. We went down there for the tennis once, the Australian Open, and that was
Yeah, there you
packed.
go. See?
Yeah,
Yeah,
see.
it's always hot, hot at the tennis at that time because it's in January. So
Very much, yeah, it was sweltering, yeah. Australia Day, it all picks up in that as well. So, but mate, it's been good catching up with you. I'm gonna, go for that coffee. I'm starting to fade. I
yeah,
might
yeah.
figure
No, look,
out,
I don't want to see an angry CJ. So
mate. Yeah,
I'm with you, brother. Yeah.
yeah. I'll be fueled. That'll be if I could get a sponsor that shout me coffee all the way around the Camino, that'd be good. Um,
Well, I was going to put up our little sponsor thing, with help out and yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it
No,
sounds
don't need much, mate. All you need is yourself and your legs, and away you go. So, yeah. All right, brother.
beautiful. All right,
Lovely to
give
catch
it.
up with you, mate. Yeah, and I'll have a talk to you next week. We'll probably
Yep.
be we're probably still here at that time. So yeah, next
All
Wednesday.
right.
Oh well,
Yep.
next Wednesday I should say. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, today's Thursday,
Yeah.
isn't it? All right, brother.
Yeah.
Love you. Look after yourself. Take it easy.
Yeah, love you, mate.
Yeah,
Give our love to MJ.
yeah. And our thoughts and love go out to the Wilcannia community and
Yeah, yeah.
some
Look,
good mates over there, Brendan and Nike, and yeah. Hope everything starts to change, and I can't wait for you guys to get there in August. I suppose that'll be really good to make
yeah.
some of
Look,
those
we're looking
changes.
forward to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No worries, brother. All right, take
Well,
care.